All right, you guys, it's the one and only Christopher Bruce here again, coming to you with some more information about my cool watch here. I got this watch a few days ago. It was only like 25 bucks. It's a smart watch apparently. It does seem fairly smart to me. I mean, it's a lot more sophisticated than any watch I've ever had in my entire life, and for some reason it's actually cheaper. It seems to be way better than any watch I've ever had in my life, but also cheaper for some reason. It was only $25. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just apparently it's apparently some cheap Chinese piece of crap. But I mean, it doesn't seem like a piece of crap to me. Yeah. But anyway, I got this watch, and I got this watch a couple of days ago. And if you look at it, it's sort of got like a pastel. The color orange, the color orange is sort of like a blend between pastel. I mean, it doesn't. It's not showing up on camera the same. It looks like a slightly brighter version of what on the camera than what it is in real life. That's why sometimes in my videos I tint the videos down darker. It's because the iPad makes them look a little bit lighter and brighter. Like for example, when I film myself in the mirror and stuff like that, I look really white compared to how I see myself in the mirror. You know? So it's like this camera changes the color and the perception. And it also squishes things down quite often and makes me look narrower than I really am or how I see myself. You know? But anyway, yeah, so the color is slightly off on this. But if you look at it, it's sort of like a combination between a pastel orange and a neon orange. You know? Pastels is really good. It's about the old gods. And then the neon is about evil being surrounded by enemies. You know? So you get the pastel and the orange. Even though, like I said, it kind of clashes with a lot of the clothes with all the clothes I wear, actually. Clashes with all of them. But it has a extremely positive meaning to it. Yeah? And if you look at it, apparently I put these bands on upside down for some reason. Apparently it's supposed to be like this with the watch like that, but I don't know. To me, it makes sense to that this band should be on the bottom because you put it. Basically, what the beings were telling me is that when you wear a wristwatch, you're supposed to put it on your weak arm. You know, like you don't put it on your dominant hand because that's the hand you do everything with. And if you have it on your dominant wrist, it's going to get banged around and knocked up a lot and fatigued and destroyed. So you put your watch on your less dominant arm, so it's not getting banged up so much and everything. And that's why you put the band like this so that you can turn it upside down and then buckle it up really easily like that. But anyway, yeah. And what's cool is that on this smartwatch, on this watch, you can actually put custom photographs on it for the background on the watch. It's really cool. Like you can choose one of the faceplate designs, one of the watch faces. You can turn to an image with the date and the time. And so what I did was I got this watch, this band. Isn't that cool? So basically, I got this really cool American flag thing. And like I said, there's a ton, according to what the gods of this place taught me, there is a ton of positive meaning hidden in the American flag, like a ton of positive meaning hidden in it. And no, it's supposed to be symbolic of the seat, not I wouldn't call it the kingdom of heaven, but it's supposed to be symbolic of the seat of goodness in existence. And that seat of goodness being turned into like a toilet by scumbags, just dumping on goodness for a very long time. So apparently the idea is that America is like the seat of goodness, which has been being treated like a toilet and shit on. And at this point in the story, it's supposed to be symbolic of blasting out all the worthless shit, saying like, you know what, get out of here, go away, get away from good, go away, and just exploding this shit out into the universe, and then slowly sifting through and picking up any good people and bringing them into the country and washing their hands of all this shit and trying to move on to a better future. So basically, it's supposed to start off as like the seed of goodness being dumped on and treated like garbage, like a toilet, by a bunch of filth, and then you move on to it turning into like a basin or a sink where you wash your hands of all this shit, and then after that it moves on to apparently the idea of like a trophy cup, you know, of like winning and being like like a not a trophy. It's sort of like the idea of a trophy, but it's supposed to actually be like the I can't remember what it's called. The cup of life or something like that. What the hell is it called? You know, the Holy Grail. It's supposed to be turning into the Holy Grail. So you start off with like the seat of goodness being treated like a toilet, and all the filth of reality, like the Canadians, dumping all over them secretly and just scumming up the very idea of goodness in the universe. And then America at some point waking up, expelling all the filth out of the seat of goodness and just basically saying, fuck off, go away, washing their hands of them, and then moving on to a Holy Grail and becoming like a meaningful part of history for all eternity. Because what they're doing, if they do this properly, they will become an eternal positive force for goodness in the universe. So all the good they create at this point in time will last forever and will have an eternal effect. So even if they get killed off and they die, the planet dies, it becomes extinct, what they've done will always have a positive eternal effect for all eternity. Even if the whole universe collapsed and died and didn't exist, it would still go on in memory and the idea forever, making the very idea of goodness eternal. You know, like it really is a cool thought when you realize what's going on. But anyway, yeah, so I got this really cool watch, and what's cool with it, you can hook it up to, and you can actually make phone calls on this thing. You know, you can actually it hooks up with Bluetooth or something like that to your cell phone. So while you're in the apartment, you don't even have to go get your phone. You can just reach down, type the number you want to call, get your address book or whatever, type the phone call and whatever. It's just yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool watch. And like I said, orange is supposed to be symbolic of O-range, which is God, good, and Chris, beyond you all. You know, like that's I said, like the black here, all this black and gray is symbolic of darkness and evil, and within it there's goodness being born within the darkness and purifying it, and because God, good, and Chris are beyond you all. Yeah, and it's like saying like America, like when you put this wallpaper on your watch, it's like it's sort of like the idea of planting the American flag on the moon and basically being like, boom, you know, we're taking over, and you know, we're conquering and destroying all evil and moving on to a much brighter future. Trying to anyway, trying. Even if the world fails and the human race fails and falls forever, what the positive goodness being done is eternal, and it is having an infinite positive effect on existence. So even if there's only like 1,000 people on Earth or in America making an extremely positive change, it is having an eternal effect on them and all good in existence. So anyway, yeah, there you go. There's some thoughts for the day, and we'll talk to you later.